the second lecture on the need of universal human value in the context of NEP 2020. And this is taken by Dr. Raghvendra Dubey. We are also having the chairperson of the session, Dr. Preeti Tamne. So Dr. Preeti Tamne is presently working as assistant professor in Department of Drug Regulatory Affairs, Pune College of Pharmacy, Pune. She has completed her MS from Naipur, Mohali. She has worked with the Dr. Reddy's Laboratory Limited, Hyderabad, in the Biologics Development Center. She has around 8 years of the industrial experience in the field of analytical development, quality systems, intellectual property, and regulatory affairs. She is currently pursuing PhD. She has an Indian patent and 4 international publications to her credit. She has delivered talk related to drug regulation at various forums, including AICTE-sponsored QIP. Now I request Ms. Preeti Tamne to proceed further.
Thank you very much, sir, for the introduction. It is my great honor and pleasure today to introduce to you all our speaker for this session, Dr. Raghvendra Dubey, sir. He is the Dean of Academic Affairs at Matoshri Education Societies and Jagdamba Education Societies group of institutions, and he is professor at Matoshri Institute of Pharmacy, Yeola. He has total 17 years of experience. He has done his PhD from JNTU Hyderabad and his MPharm from Rajiv Gandhi Technical University, Bhopal. Sir has published about 64 papers and 63 conference proceedings, 5 book chapters. He is the member of 4 professional societies. He has received 2 fellowships and 2 funded projects. He has attended various conferences and seminars and presented lectures as resource persons in over 28 different places. He is the member and coordinator of the Syllabus Drafting Committee of the Indian Knowledge System at AICT in New Delhi, Technical Book Syllabus Layout Committee AICT, and Meeting Coordinator for UHVs. With this brief introduction, I invite Dr. Raghvendra Dubey, sir, to kindly proceed with his talk titled Need of Universal Human Values in the Context of National Education Policy 2020. Very warm welcome and over to you, sir.
नमस्ते सभी को, और प्रीति मैडम बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, सो काइंड ऑफ यू। तो मैं पहले आई वुड लाइक to thank the entire team, the management, Dr. Hemant sir, for giving this opportunity and to share this important topic on need of universal human values to each and everyone. So can we proceed? Can
Yes.
I share my screen?
Yes, please, sir.
Thank you. So screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I welcome each and everyone in this particular session, and before starting the session, I would request each and everyone that this is an self-exploratory session. So I request everyone to participate in the chat regarding the each and every question which has been discussed here. So in the entire session, actually the session is being part into 3 main sections. And the first important is the present condition of the education. The second important is the NEP 2020 to bring the UHV. And the third is the content of universal human values. So I shall proceed the session. So in a current situation, when we look toward the current state of the education, we will find in past 50 years, the number of education institutes, universities are increased. If we will look that the number of universities and the education and the courses all are increased, and this increase in education results to increase in number of students appearing with these courses, with appearing in this particular institutes, and the number of students passing through this education institutes are also increasing. So this indicate that education system is growing day by day, and with this particular education, the number of skilled and trained persons are increasing. We can find out that with respect to the past 30 years, the number of skilled and trained persons are increasing. And we can say with this that the confidence of human being to handle the physical material is increased. We can see in the society right now that new materials are coming in the market, new clothes are coming in the market, new type of homes are being prepared, new type of electronic instrument, gadgets, all are coming in the markets, new software, new applications. So we can easily say that the confidence of human being on handling the physical material is increased, and this shows an satisfactory impact of education on the students, on the generation. But when we see the other part of the coin, did the confidence of human being to live with fulfillment in relationship, in the family, friends, with the colleagues, society and nature is increased or decreased? Now we can see in our family itself, we can check in our family in past 30 years, the physical facilities in our family is increased or decreased. And with the ratio of the physical facilities increased, the confidence to live with fulfillment in the family members is increased or decreased. You may respond with the chat box. I request each and everyone, you can respond with the chat box. Can you find the confidence of the family to live together is increased or decreased with respect to education? We can check this thing in our society also. We can check this thing that in society, new type of physical materials, new type of electronic gadgets, new type of food materials, new type of clothes, new type of all physical facilities are increased. But the society is becoming fearful or fearless. The society is free from domination or domination is increased. We can check within. We can check within that, particularly in self, with respect to education, the physical facilities is increased, but my own confidence to live with the harmony within the family, within the friends, within the colleagues, and within the society is increased or decreased. Can we take any reflections? Can anybody reflect on this particular thing? If anybody wants to reflect, please unmute.
They are reflecting in the chat box.
Yeah, sure.
And the participants are requested to interact directly. So it will be more meaningful session.
Sure, Bhaiya. So I request each and everyone, if they interact in this particular session and discuss regarding these matters, then we'll have a good discussion. So what do you think? You think whatever being discussed here is true? The situation of the education is to make the confidence on physical material. Rather, we went look toward the relationship with the family members, with the friends, with the colleagues, with society, and with the nature. It decreased, and this shows a dissatisfaction toward the education system. And how this dissatisfaction clearly indicates that there should be the need of education reform. Now, I would like to ask one question and request each and everyone to respond this. Out of these three type of fear, which is predominant for us currently? The fear of natural calamities, the fear of wild animals, or the fear of inhuman behavior of human beings? What do you think? What will be the response? In current condition, if you will see, what type of fear we usually observe? Good. So I think most of us can able to see there is a fear of inhuman behavior of human beings, whether it is in family, whether moving to our working place, whether going to the society. It is a basic common fear that we don't know how the other one behaves. And the most important question comes, is this one is increasing or decreasing? The inhuman behavior of human is increasing or decreasing? So this need to be explored. The inhuman behavior is increased. And this clearly indicates that there is a need of discussion on human behavior. So there is a need of an education system which should have a two proper dimension, that is knowledge and skill. And the knowledge and skill should be in such a manner that it should provide the latest knowledge and should be complete. The complete in the sense that it should be connected with the role of the particular knowledge, with the family, with the society, and with respect to not only the society, till up to the nature and existence. So there is a need to understand the knowledge from the ground root to its participation in this particular existence. The second important dimension is the values. And the values is how to handle self, how to behave in the family and the society, and how to be in harmony with the nature. And once this two particular dimension is completed, the developed person will be a skilled, value-based human personality. And this was basically considered in national education policy. And the national education policy has given this an basic fundamental achievement of full human potential for developing the equitable and just society and promoting the nation development. So we need to understand the meaning. We need to understand the meaning of full human potential, equitable just society, and nation development. Bhaiya, my voice is clear?
Ji.
Yes,
sure,
sir.
Thank you. So for achieving that, we need to go through human education sanskar. Now, when look toward the human being, whether it is from rural area or from urban area, or it may be in India or in other country, all the human behavior depends on the type of education. Not only the rural or urban area, within a family, the human, whatever education is given by the family members, the child follows that, and the education become the part of that particular child. So human are termed to be human. The sanskar means the living of human being is totally based on the education, whatever being provided. So for the same, the human education should be in the way that it should provide the humane worldview. So the human can relate himself with others. He can find the relationship between the others and can correlate all the activities with the nature. And for that we required the human values. Then what is the human values? The human values have certain parameters to be termed as universal human values. It should be universal, it should be rational, it should be verifiable, and that should lead to the harmony. That means universal means it should be applicable to each and every human being on this planet, whether in India or whether in other country, whether in this rural area or whether in the urban area. So the values should be universal. It should be rational. It should be rational means it should be logical. It should have a reasonable answering. It can be answered at any moment. It should be verifiable on living. It should reproduce, and it should lead to the harmony. It should bring everyone in the harmony. So we need to impart universal human values. Along with human values, there is a need of value guided skilled, so that the skill of living with human conduct can be imparted in a child. And this whole is termed as full human personality in national education policy. And with this educational policy, with this full human personality, when graduate contribute to the human society, the society which is formed is a human society with the full of culture and civilization that indicate the equitable and just society. So this is the basic aim of national education policy. Now, before entering to the content of UHV, let's have a discussion on the values, what we mean by values. So currently in the education system, what we find that the most of thing is going in the way of discipline or instruction manner. Do this thing, don't this thing. Even in the, not in the education, even from the family itself, from the starting itself, we'll teach the child as do this thing and don't do this thing. And in this manner, what we will start to do is we enforce them with the fear or some certain type of incentive. We can see this thing in our family itself. If a child is not eating the food, we tell him that somebody will come to eat his food. Now you eat it. We give child from starting some type of fear. You complete this homework, as compared to brother, if you won't complete, we will give the chocolate to brother, it won't give to you. So we'll give certain fears, we give certain incentives, and we at that time then we are putting some instruction. And in this way, there is no definite conduct of a person. It depends on the person, it depends on the individual. The conduct will be indefinite. The second option we opt is the moral education. And when we talk about moral education, it is about the ideas and moral which varies with the society, which varies with the location, which varies with the nation, and that won't be a universal. Somebody approved something and somebody not approved, and in the view of someone that something will be moral and something won't be there. So again, the conduct of a human being will be indefinite. It varies with the location. Then the third way is the value education. The value education is an education on the base of understanding. And the mode of this particular education is via proposal, so that an individual can self-explore and know the importance of the particular thing, and then he should become or she should become the self-discipline. This is known as value education. So we are going to start now the content of value education. So the content of value education I will right now present in front of you is an proposal. So I request, do not assume it to be true or false. And whenever proposal comes to us, it is our own right to either accept it or reject it. So kindly verify it on your own right on the basis of our natural acceptance. So I may ask one question. So you all respond in the chat box whether you want to live with the feeling of relationship or feeling of opposition with others. What will be your answer? You want to live with the feeling of relationship or a feeling of opposition with others. What will be your reply? Kindly harmony with other. Okay. So I will ask the question again. My question is, what do you want? You want to live with the feeling of relationship or a feeling of opposition with others? Feeling of relationship. So it looks that each and everyone wants to live with the feeling of relationship. So from where this answer will come? This answer comes from innate from human beings. This is innate to human beings, and this is universal to each and everyone. When something which is innate to human being is known as natural acceptance. So this proposal, you should all verify it according to the natural acceptance. Here, to bring this proposal, I am starting as in the form of dialogue, and there should be someone to start with the dialogue. So I am playing that role only to initiate the dialogue. And once this dialogue will started between me and you, then I hope this will soon started within yourself, between what you are and what you really want to be. And this is the basic aim of this session, to initiate the internal dialogue within you. So I will start the session with 3 questions. I request each and everyone to reply in this, and I want that if somebody will open the mic also, so it will be very, very good to listen your reflection. The questions are: do we want to be happy? Do we want to be prosperous? Do we want to the continuity of happiness and prosperity? I request each and everyone to reply in the chat box. If anybody wants, they can open the mic also, and we'll have a short discussion on this. Do we want to be happy? The question 1. Do we want to be prosperous? Question number 2. I think you need to write the answer in the form of yes and no. 1 is yes or no. 2 is yes or no. 3 is yes or no. So yes to all. Okay, great. Anybody wants to have a conversation online? They want, they can unmute themselves. Great. So I think it is clearly observed from the chat box that each and everybody wants to be happy, wants to be prosperous, and wants the continuity of happiness and prosperity. That sounds good. Can with this particular result, can we say that happiness is a basic aspiration of human being? Can we say this? Okay, little bit before concluding this, I will also ask one important question. Till date, we can check it in our life. Did we have done anything to become unhappy? You can respond yes or no. Till date in our life, we have done anything to become unhappy? Yes or no? If anybody will come for interaction, that will be much more better. This will be a good to explore. If anybody will open the mic, if you want to conclude this thing.
Sir, I would like to
Sure.
share.
Sure. So my
Sir,
question is, pardon, yeah.
Whatever we attempt to do is always in order to seek happiness. But many times we end up not being happy with what we have done.
True. So basically, if we see our desire is to become happy. Now, what is the end product? We will discuss on that. But what is our basic desire is to become happy. And we can check it in our full life right now till date. We have done anything to become unhappy? No. That sounds good. Okay. So we can explore this. Now I will ask again 3 set of a question, 4, 5, and 6. Are we happy? Are we prosperous? And is there continuity of our happiness and prosperity? And this is the current status of our own. Please check it. Are we happy? Are we prosperous? Is there continuity of happiness and prosperity? Again, I request to please. Okay, so we'll say many times yes, sometime no. Okay, I request everyone, if please respond in the chat box. If somebody wants to discuss on, please unmute themselves and please have a discussion on this particular talk. Are we happy? Current situation. Are we prosperous? Is there continuity of happiness and prosperity? Okay. So if we find that are we happy, we find that we are really happy. We are prosperous also. But when the question comes, is there continuity of happiness and prosperity? There is a big question mark comes, because even living with our family members, we become sometime angry, we become unhappy, we become in opposition, we become angry. So the continuity of happiness and prosperity is somewhat in doubt.
Yeah, I request the participants, please unmute and involve, because these are the questions, basic questions. Sir is going to discuss the universal human values, and these universal human values are recommended by the AICTE. Even it is mandatory when we are going for the approval process. I know that many of the pharmacy institutions are not required now AICTE approval, but still these concepts are very relevant. These concepts are verifiable. These concepts are rational. Therefore, I request everyone.
Yeah. Sir, true, I agree with you. Not only the regulatory agency, these questions are directly related to our life. It is directly related to our living. It is directly related to being in harmony with the family, society, with our colleagues, our friends. So I think this should be answered very honestly. Yeah, anyway. So if we observe, there is a big question mark in continuity of happiness and prosperity. But what we have seen, our desire is to have a continuity of happiness and prosperity, but our current state is there is a lack in continuity of happiness and prosperity. So we can find, Bhaiya, there is, I think somebody need to mute.
All participants are requested to kindly mute yourselves. Do not create disturbance.
No, if they
Dr.
want to say
Santosh
anything,
Gopal.
if they want to say anything, they are most welcome. If they want to have a reflection, any question, any sharing, they are most welcome. So
Dr.
if we see, so there is a gap between our desire and our state of being, between what we really want to be and what we are. Can you able to see this thing? I request everyone to please reply in chat box. Can we able to see this gap? What we want a continuity of happiness and prosperity, but we lose the continuity of happiness and prosperity with the simple things only. Moving to the road, if somebody make a 2 or 3 times of horns, we will become unhappy. So we lose our happiness, we lose the continuity of happiness and prosperity. So there is a gap. The most important question comes, what we are doing to fill this gap? If we find some gap is there, what we are doing to fill the gap? You need to ask this question within yourself, is we are doing anything? And the third important question comes, this gap is getting filled up or getting wider? If anybody wants to have a discussion in Hindi also, there is no problem. We'll have a discussion in Hindi also. We can check it out in between our desire and our state of being, current state of being. And this gap, either we are working on this gap or we are not working on this gap. This gap is filled up or this gap is going to becoming more wider.
I think
We can see with respect to this gap is,
I think we are not significantly doing.
yes, definitely. I truly agree with this, Bhaiya. So what is going on is our own basic, we are not aware about our own basic desire. We are not at all aware of our basic aspiration. Our basic aspiration is to remain happy and prosperous. We are not aware of that thing, and our full effort is toward different direction. So we can check out with this slide, is our effort is for continuity of happiness or prosperity or just for accumulation of physical facilities? You can reply in chat box. Is our effort is toward the continuity of happiness and prosperity or it is just for accumulation of physical facilities? Now, our basic aspiration is to remain happy and prosperous, but our effort is for accumulation of physical facilities. Have we assumed that happiness and prosperity will be ensured when we have enough physical facility? We need to ask this. And what effort we are making other than accumulation of physical facilities? You can check in your whole day, in a full day, how much effort we are doing other than accumulation of physical facilities. Anybody wants to have an interaction? Anybody wants to have any question, reflection or sharing? They can unmute and they can explore. There is no true and false for this. There is no particular answer for this. This is only an exploration session, and this will lead to some conclusion within. So if anybody wants to have a discussion, we can. So word physical facilities comes into the light, and when we talk about physical facilities is required to animal and human being both. when an animal has a lack of physical facilities, it become uncomfortable, but when gets the physical facilities, it become comfortable. We can check with the cow. She gets the stomach full of grass, it become comfortable, sits and chew the curds. Don't worry about the other cow is having more grass. But when we see about the human beings, human being has a lack of physical facilities. He become uncomfortable and unhappy. But once he gets the physical facilities, he forgot about it and start thinking about 100 other things. Is this happened to us? It's true or false? I will ask one question to each and everyone. Please check yourself. If you feel happy every day that you are getting enough to eat, check it out. Or we are not at all worried about how eating anything. We are not at all worried about physical facilities. We have not considered physical facilities to complete ourselves. Check it out. Good. So reflection shows that human beings do not be completed with the physical facilities. Human being required physical facilities. Animal also required physical facilities, but animal gets complete with the physical facilities. But human being once get the physical facilities, start to think about 100 other things. And this indicates that physical facilities is necessary for human being, but something more is required. The human being never be completed with it. And what something more is required to check this is, we can check this with question. The important question is, the unhappiness in our family is more due to lack of physical facilities or more due to lack of fulfillment in relationship? You can write in chat box as a 1 or 2. What do you find in our families? You can check out in our own families that whether we are having lack of physical facilities to eat food, to have a clothes, to have a required physical facilities to live the life, or we have unhappiness more due to lack in fulfillment of relationship. You can check out what is the basic unhappiness in our family. Anybody wants to have a question or any reflection or any sharing, they can unmute. So one chat box, there is one reflection. We don't want to come out from our comfort zone. Maybe this is the cause of other problems. So we will check out this. Either we are in a comfort zone, or we have already considered something which is not exact true about the human being. Okay, so coming to the point, so with the reflection, we can see that there is a lack in fulfillment in relationship. That's good. If there is a lack in fulfillment in relationship, the next question will be how much time and effort we are investing for the physical facilities or for the fulfillment in relationship. If we find there is lack in fulfillment in relationship, we can check out over the day how much time and effort we are investing for physical facilities or for the fulfillment in relationship. Please check out this. You can check out in the form of percentage also. You can check out how much effort and time we are utilizing for physical facilities in a day, say 20%, 60%, 70%, 80%, and how much percentage we are investing for the fulfillment in relationship, say 50%, 40%, 20%, 30%. You can check out this thing. So I request everyone to explore and just give their reflection in the chat box, or they want, they can unmute and reflect it. So our most of the time is investing on the physical facilities. The most time and effort we are investing for physical facilities, not for fulfillment in relationship. So we are too much good on physical facilities while we lack in the fulfillment in relationship. हम अपने परिवार में ही तृप्ति पूर्वक नहीं जी पा रहे है ना. So we are lack in the fulfillment in relationship. The important conclusions that arises that the unhappiness is more due to the lack of fulfillment in relationship, and most of the time and effort is spent for physical facilities. Now, for human being, the relationship is so important for human being. So for human being, physical facilities is necessary, but relationship is also necessary. Now, on carefully examine this thing, this is a fundamental difference between animal and human beings. Physical facilities is necessary for animal as well as for human being. However, for animal, physical facilities is necessary as well as adequate. For human being, physical facilities is necessary but not adequate. Human beings are not completed with physical facilities. They required something else. And we talk about something else. The something else is relationship. So we can able to conclude this thing that human being required relationship and physical facilities both. Physical facilities is necessary and adequate for animal, but for human being it is necessary but not adequate. Now, relationship is so much important for human beings, then why it happens that we do get into argument, opposition, fights, even in the family, with the close family members, close friends, with colleagues, at the work, in the marketplace? Every time we have a fight and we want to resolve it, we say sorry, patch up, and promise not to fight in the future. But even though we don't want to fight, a fight does take place once again, and we want the other to improve, and other want us to improve. Is this happening? Anybody? Anyone want to have discussion on this, exploration on this, any sharing, or may reply with the chat box? Is this happening? We are going in arguments, opposition, fight. Even though we are not expressing, but something going on within, we are unable to forget the pupils. So we are getting with this thing, these incidents of reactions, not speaking with someone for a day, for a week, for a month, for a year, arguments, debates, even a case of divorce is increasing or decreasing. You can explore with your close relationship within the family, friends, workplace, in the society. Is these incidents are increasing or decreasing? Can you check out this? You may reply in the chat box also. Is these incidents are increasing or decreasing? Anybody wants to have a reflection? Increasing nowadays. Okay. So in spite of our acceptance for relationship, why is it happening? We have considered relationship very important for human being. Then also these are going on. Why? The most important thing comes in the mind. If relationship is very important, our family members are very important, our spouse is important, our childs are important, then also we'll go with the opposition with them, we'll go with the argument, we are going with the fight, we are just ready to go for any type of opposition with our friends, circles, and with our society members. So why, if human is having so importance toward the relationship, why this is going to happen? So for checking this perspective, there is one question on the screen. Let us check out that we want to live with relationship with other, or we want to live in opposition with others, or we believe that living has to be necessary in opposition with others. There is a struggle for survival, survival of the fittest, and check if we feel happy living this way. You can reply with these options, option 1, 2, or 3 in the chat box. What do you think? What is your perspective for this? Check out this thing. What is our present perspective for this? We want to live with relationship, we want to live with opposition, or we believed that there is a opposition is necessary, the struggle for survival, survival for fittest. Okay, so we can able to see that each and everyone are thinking in the same way, that we want to live in relationship with others. That's good. But what view we do promote right now in home, in family, in school, in college, in society? From home itself, what we are giving to our children, if they will score a result, if they will come up with the result report card, what we are doing? We are comparing, evaluating the child with only marks. Not only that marks, we ask them what is the marks of their friends. If they are having more marks, that is good. If they are having less marks, then we'll treat them in a different way. So from starting only, we are just imparting in the children that the friends do are the part of competition. So again, we want to live with the fulfillment with the relationship, but we are imparting the struggle for survival and survival for fittest in education system, in our family. So we need to check it out. This is naturally accepted to us. We need to check it, what view we are giving to our children in our family, what we are giving education in schools and colleges, and the same is promoted to the next generation by the kids. So this means, this indicates that the human being is unable to fulfill relationship, therefore something more required apart from this. So that is known as right understanding. Right understanding, which with have a clarity about the relationship with the human being, we are able to fulfill the relationship. With the right understanding, we also have a clarity about how much physical facilities we need. So we'll go ahead with that. So 3 important things are required: right understanding, relationship, and physical facilities. Is anything more required? Anyone has any question? Anyone has any reflection? Want to share something? Right understanding, relationship, and physical facilities, all three are required. Is anything more required? Correct. Okay. So are we working on all three? Are we working on right understanding? Are we working on relationship? Are we working on physical facilities or anything left? Or we are working only in physical facilities. We are not working toward relationship and toward right understanding. Empathy. Okay. We'll discuss it. Okay. If we have these three, what should be the priority? Which one should be kept in priority? Right understanding, relationship, and physical facilities, which should be kept on the highest priority, which should be kept on second one, and which should be kept on third one. Can anybody unmute and or reply in the chat box? If all three are required, what should be the priority? Right understanding, relationship, and physical facilities. Right understanding should be first. Okay, great. What will be the second? In the chat box, we can able to see right understanding should be first. So Preeti ji, what should be second? The relationship or physical facilities? Relationship. Okay. So right understanding should be first, relationship should be second, and physical facilities should be third. Okay. So when we right understanding, the second will be relationship and third will be the physical facilities. With right understanding, when we deal with the relationship, it will lead to mutual happiness. I will also be happy and other human being will also be happy. With this right understanding, when I utilize the physical facilities, it will bring mutual prosperity, the prosperity in me and my family, as well as to the nature. Is anyone has any questions regarding pertaining to this particular discussion? So we can able to see that right understanding, with the right understanding, we will deal with the relationship. It will lead to mutual happiness, and with the right understanding, when we deal with the physical facilities, it will lead to the mutual prosperity. But if we look toward the see the current status, we are only working on physical facilities. We are working on this small circle. And we have gone through the discussion that physical facilities can make only animal being completed with the physical facilities. Human won't be completed with the physical facilities. For human being, something else is required rather than physical activity, physical facilities. So when we do not have right understanding and when we lead toward the relationship, there is chance of unhappiness, making other unhappy. And when without right understanding, when we utilize physical facilities, we do not know how much physical facilities is required. So we are always in a deprivation. And once we become in a deprivation mode, we will exploit other. We'll exploit the nature, we exploit the other human beings. Is it true? Can reply in the chat box. Or you want to have any questions, you may ask. Without right understanding, we can't fulfill the relationship. Without right understanding, we can't deal with the physical facilities, as we are unable to know what is my requirement of physical facilities. Yeah. Any question?
Lochna madam,
Yeah.
you want to say something?
Yeah, please go ahead. If you want to have any question, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, this topic may be new to the participants.
True.
So, sometimes they may think, sometimes they immediately do not respond.
Yeah, true. True.
Yeah.
This requires self-exploration.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Agreed with you, sir. Agreed with you.
So
So
sometimes
let it be. You think over the time, you think today, tonight, you think you are having enough time, you can think it, but this is only to bring the conversation within you. So without right understanding, we can't fulfill the relationship. Without right understanding, we can't able to understand the need of physical facilities. And once we do not know the physical facilities, we require the physical facilities unlimitedly. And for that, we will go with deprivation. We will go with the exploitation. इसीलिए हम दरिद्रता के भाव में जीते हैं और शोषण करना चाहते हैं. Once we can able to understand the right understanding and live with the relationship for mutual happiness, and with the right understanding to identify the physical need and procure that physical need, leads to mutual prosperity. This is known as human consciousness, Manav Chetana. If we are living with all three, right understanding, relationship, physical facilities, then we are living with human consciousness. Human being can be fulfilled on the basis of these three only: right understanding, relationship, and physical facilities. But currently, we are working only on physical facilities. That's why we are in animal consciousness, Jiva Chetana, because animal is fulfilled with physical facilities. If our living is only for physical facilities, then we are living with animal consciousness. Animal live only for physical facilities and can be fulfilled by that. Human being cannot be fulfilled on the basis of physical facilities alone. So when we look animal with animal consciousness, they are in harmony. This is fine. Human being living with human consciousness, they are also in harmony. This is also fine. But human being living with animal consciousness, they are in disharmony, and this is the problem. And this problem required transformation. The transformation from this small circle of physical facilities to the big circle of right understanding, relationship, and physical facilities. What do you think? Is development just is increasing the physical facilities, or development is ensuring for all these three? We are doing very, a tremendous development in physical facilities. Then also we are unable to ensure the happiness within the family. We can easily conclude this thing. increasing or development only and only in the physical facilities won't ensure the happiness within the family. So we can check this thing, is this transformation is desirable? And if it's desirable, are we making effort for this? And do we need to make effort for it? These are the important questions we need to understand for transformation. Any reflection, any question pertaining to this? If you like to have any questions. So role of, yeah.
Please go on the previous slide.
Yeah.
So actually this is the ideal, I think. But what I am thinking that I'm not making the efforts in this direction. So I need to think it.
Agreed with you. You are not only, we all and we everyone, including me and everyone, we are just in the first phase toward the physical facilities. We all need to go with the transformation toward the right understanding, toward the relationship and physical facilities. And the most important task for this is the human beings required education for this thing. Once he will get educated, automatically it will come into the living of the human being. So this is the basic problem. And the next slide I will just tell you about. So how to make the solution in this. So for making the solution, there is a requirement of holistic development with the transformation to human consciousness. And the transformation is only by education sanskar. The education sanskar enable this transformation by way of ensuring the development of competency to live with human consciousness and definite human conduct. And for this, it has to be ensured right understanding in every child, the capacity to live with relationship with other human beings, and the capacity to identify the need of physical facilities and the skill and practice for sustainable production of more than what is required, leading to the field of prosperity. So the whole transformation needs to work on this, and that will ensure these particular 3 points. But when we look toward the current status, the right understanding in every child is missing. The capacity to live in relationship with other human being is missing. We can check within the family, our own kids, we can see they are unable to adjust with others, our relatives within our family members. They are not at all adjusting with us. Within a small nuclear family itself, the humans are not having the capacity to live in relationship with other human beings. So it is a missing part in current education. And the capacity to identify the need of physical facilities, the skill and practice for sustainable production of more what is required, leading to the feeling of prosperity, it is also missing, because identification of a need of physical facilities is missing. It is totally missed. The willingness to produce by way of labor is also missing. A very interesting things occur in one session. What happened, we discussed with the students regarding identification of need of physical facilities. So they asked how we can identify the need of physical facilities. So important, a single question was asked. So I hope each and everyone can reply in the chat box. Do you know how much pair of clothes you have with you? Those who have, they can write yes. Those who do not know, they can write no. So we do not have the identification of our physical facilities. So how come we can able to know or identify how much we required? So we are unable to identify the need of our physical facilities that is missing. A very important incident happened when student asked in the workshop. So we asked student, what do you want with your life? What do you want to go ahead? So I want to have a good job. So I asked, what is a good job for you? So he told that I should get a good salary and if possible, no work. I want a good salary and if possible, no work. So now we can able to see the willingness to produce by the labor is also missing. Students don't want to become laborers. They just want that easy coming should be there. So this is actual missing in the education. The core feeling which is generated is to accumulate more and more, to consume more and more, rather than to produce more or more. And this is a big question. We can check within the family itself. So for this purpose, there is an important solution for this problem is human consciousness. We need to have a human education which will bring the human consciousness, human values. That human values improve the human conduct and that will make the human society. Now, important question comes in the mind. What we need to understand in the right understanding. समझ क्या है, क्या समझना है, सही समझ क्या समझना है. So we need to understand the harmony in the human beings, harmony in the family, harmony in the society, harmony in the nature and existence. And once we understand this, this is known as education. The understanding part is known as education. When we live with this understanding is known as sanskar. When we live it with relationship at the level of individual, at the level of family, at the level of society, and the level of nature and existence, it will lead to mutual happiness and prosperity. So what should be the next program? This is only the introductory session. The next program will be how to fulfill this, how to become continuous happiness and prosperity is by mean of right understanding. What to right understand? We need to understand the harmony in human being, harmony in family, harmony in society, harmony in nature and existence. And for this, the regulatory agencies has already undertake this particular things, and every week AICT is conducting 5-day workshop for this online workshop. 1 week in English and 1 week in Hindi. I think the group which you have formed, I think you have posted the same link in the group also. So all the whatever the participant present here, they and their colleagues and their family members, those who are interested to understand the right understanding and the way to have a continuity in happiness and prosperity should attend this AICT 5-day workshop, online workshop, to understand the harmony within self, the harmony in family, the harmony in society, the harmony in nature and existence, to bring continuity in happiness and prosperity. So from here, I would like to have, if anybody wants to have any question, query, anything pertaining to this, I'm eagerly to look forward for that. Or any reflection or sharing. If they are related, if they are relating this particular talk with their life, they can discuss or they can share with that particular thought also. or if anybody wants to have any question, please go ahead.
Requesting participants to kindly put up their questions either in the chat box or you can directly ask sir your questions.
Or they want to have any reflection or sharing pertaining to this particular topic. Okay, fine, ma'am.
Actually, this topic may be new to many participants.
True.
Maybe thinking
So
process.
in the end, can I sum up with the Hindi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. तो सभी को फिर से नमस्ते, और हिंदी में अगर बात को अगर ठीक रख पाऊंगा तो मैं उस बात के रूप में आप सभी के सामने ये बात रखना चाहूंगा कि मानव हमेशा सुख और समृद्धि की ओर ही बढ़ना चाहता है और उसकी निरंतरता की ओर ही बढ़ना चाहता है, और इस निरंतरता के लिए उसको अपने जीने का फैलाव देखने के बाद वो समाज और शेष प्रकृति और अस्तित्व में जीता हुआ दिखता है। जब तक वो इनकी व्यवस्था को नहीं समझेगा तब तक कि अपने आप को इस व्यवस्था में लाके जी नहीं पाएगा। तो अपनी व्यवस्था में आने के लिए उसे समझ का विकास करना होगा, सही समझ का विकास करना होगा, और इस सही समझ जी भैया, मैं अनम्यूट आवाज आ रही भैया अभी?
यस
जी। तो मैं कहाँ पे छूटा था भैया?
सही समझ और सही बात।
ठीक है। तो मानव अगर अपने अगर अपने फैलाव को देखे तो फैलाव को देखने पे दिखता है स्वयं में सबसे ज्यादा जीता हुआ दिखता है, उसके बाद वो अपने परिवार में, परिवार से समाज में, समाज से और देखते हुए वो एक प्रकृति और अस्तित्व में अपने को देख पाता है। और जब ये अपने फैलाव को देखता है तो अगर उसे निरंतरता, सुख की निरंतरता और समृद्धता की निरंतरता करनी है तो इन व्यवस्थाओं को समझना होगा, इन व्यवस्थाओं के अनुकूल होके उसे जीना होगा। एक बार इस पूरी व्यवस्था को अगर वो समझ पाएगा तो इस व्यवस्था को समझ के जीने आसान हो पाएगा। तो आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि अगर आप सभी को AICTE की तरफ से इस चीज को एक कंपलसरी इंडक्टिव के रूप में डाला गया है ना, तो आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि आप इस सभी को सेशन के रूप में आप अटेंड करें, है ना। ये केवल इंट्रोडक्टरी सेशन था, सेंसिटाइजिंग सेशन था आपको इस चीज का आभास दिलाने के लिए कि अभी हमारी पर्टिकुलर कंडीशन जो है वो एजुकेशन की क्या बनी है और नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी किस तरीके से इस बात को प्रमोट करके पूरे एजुकेशन सिस्टम में लेके आ रही है। जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
We are having some questions.
Thank you.
हाँ,
प्रीति मैडम will ask.
जी श्योर। एक चैट बॉक्स में भी क्वेश्चन दिख रहा है।
जी भैया जी।
व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ सबकॉन्शियस माइंड? जी, ठीक बात है। तो देखिए, आपसे ये प्रश्न बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है और बहुत महत्वपूर्ण भी दिख रहा है, लेकिन सबसे पहले हम अपने मानव होने के रूप को हम समझ लें तो हम इस प्रश्न की ओर आराम से आगे बढ़ पाएंगे, है ना। तो मेरा आपसे निवेदन है इस कार्यशाला में, है ना, सबसे पहले हम मैं को ही समझने की कोशिश करते हैं, स्वयं मानव को समझने की कोशिश करते हैं, है ना। तो मानव को जब हम समझने जाएंगे तो ये प्रश्नों के उत्तर तब खुलते जाएंगे हमारे, है ना। तो आपसे अनुरोध बना रहेगा कि अगर आप ये वर्कशॉप अटेंड करें, है ना, तो ये बहुत आसानी से समझ पाएंगे।
Can you see the chat box? One more question is also there posted.
I will see भैया। No, there is no more question.
One question related to the feeling has asked.
Can you please?
Sir, this is the only question that I can see in the chat box.
Yes.
Okay. If the participants want to interact and want to ask the question, please unmute and ask.
I think I request each participant, if they will interact, that will be more I think interactive session. They want to interact.
I have one question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
We'll consider about the physical facility. And when we thought about the comparison between India and the world, we are still lacking in a physical facility at a very higher level. We consider one example of any faculty which is working in an metropolitan cities and he got a good salary, but still he is not able to fulfill his physical facility after doing the job of 10 to 15 years. He is unable to took at least one flat for him. So how he is satisfied by all the way and how he can use the harmony and relationship with the family and all the other things. So this is my question basically.
Now that's good. That's one of the good question, and this question arises with the physical facilities. Actually, the physical facilities, until and unless we do not identify the need of physical facilities, there is ample of physical facilities required by each family. The first important thing is we need to identify the requirement of physical facilities within. So the physical facilities, I may give you one very important example, if you permit. Is there any time to give the reflection? Sir?
Yes sir, please.
तो एक बहुत अच्छा इंसिडेंस के माध्यम से आपको सुनाना चाहूंगा. एक इनकम टैक्स के अधिकारी के यहाँ ही रेड पड़ गया इनकम टैक्स का. बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग सी बात है. और वो रेड इसलिए पड़ा कि वो 2 लाख रुपए की रिश्वत लेते हुए पकड़ा गए. और जब ये चीज उनके साथ हुई तो पता लगा उनके कई सारे फ्लैट्स हैं और फार्म हाउस हैं, तो कई सारी गाड़ियां हैं, बहुत सारी निकले. फार्म हाउस में पहुंचे तो पता लगा कि उनके फार्म हाउस में करीब बोरे से भर के पैसे निकले और करीब उसका जब आकलन किया गया तो उसको काउंट किया गया मिलियंस ऑफ रुपीज उनके पास अवेलेबल थे. अब प्रश्न तो इंपॉर्टेंट यहाँ बनता है कि जिस आदमी के पास मिलियंस ऑफ रुपीज हैं, फिर उन्हें 2 लाख रुपए की रिश्वत लेने की क्यों आवश्यकता पड़ गई? अगर उन्हें जीने के रूप में देखा जाए तो उनके पास इतना पैसा तो था कि वो आराम से सुख समृद्धि के भाव से जी सकते थे, है ना. लेकिन जब हमें अपनी फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज की ठीक ठीक आकलन नहीं हो पाता है तो फिर हमें जो हमारे पास होता है वो कमी दिखता है. जो भी होगा वो हमारे पास कमी दिखता है. एक कॉन्फ्रेंस के अंदर प्रोफेसर से यही बात को पूछा गया तो प्रोफेसर ने उनसे एक प्रश्न रखा. एक चाय का कप लेके आए प्लास्टिक का और उनसे कहा इसमें कितनी कप चाय आ पाएगी. अब बच्चों ने अलग अलग उत्तर दिया और ये एक चीज फाइनल होके निकल के आई कि उसमें 10 ml करीब चाय आ जाएगी. तब प्रोफेसर ने दूसरा कप लिया, उसके अंदर से पेन काट दिया. अब बोले इसमें कितनी चाय आएगी, तो सब हंसने लग गए. एवरीबडी नोज कि जब उसके अंदर फिक्स्ड पैदा नहीं होगा तो कितनी चाय आएगी, वी डोंट नो. तो ये बात हमें क्लियर होना जरूरी है कि अगर हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट हमने फिक्स नहीं करी है तो उसमें कितनी चाय डालते रहेंगे हम. वी आर नॉट एट ऑल सेटिस्फाइड विथ हाउ मच वी रिक्वायर्ड. सो फर्स्ट वी नीड टू फिक्स अप कि मेरी रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है और वो रिक्वायरमेंट कैसे आएगी, वो समृद्धि का भाव कैसे आएगा. उसके लिए मेरा निवेदन है कि आप कार्यशाला को जरूर अटेंड करें, तो हम ठीक रूप से समझ पाएंगे कि हमारी फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज की नीड कितनी बनी है. मैं उत्तर दे पाया आपको? मेरा उत्तर पहुंच पाया अब तक?
Please unmute and interact.
जी ठीक है. और भी कोई प्रश्न बन रहे हैं सर तो प्रश्न ले सकते हैं. अगर किसी का और भी प्रश्न बन रहा है तो हम प्रश्न को ले सकते हैं. ठीक है.
ओके सर.
किसी का रिफ्लेक्शन
यस
बन
सर.
रहा है तो हम वो रिफ्लेक्शन भी ले सकते हैं. जी मैडम प्लीज प्रोसीड कर लीजिए.
Sir, one reflection that I have to share here is that क्योंकि मैंने UHV का AICTE का भी प्रोग्राम किया था, तो from that I realized that जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि we have to fix कि what is our requirement, and many times we are not able to fix it because we are all the time comparing with others. So अगर हमने घर ले लिया है तो हम सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है क्योंकि किसी और के पास उससे बड़ा घर है। अगर हमने गाड़ी ले ली है तो हम सेटिस्फाइड नहीं रहते कि किसी और के पास उससे बड़ी गाड़ी है। ये हम नहीं देख पाते कि मेरी रिक्वायरमेंट ये है, तो मेरे पास उस रिक्वायरमेंट को फुलफिल करने वाली चीज अगर है तो मुझे सेटिस्फाइड मैं फिर भी नहीं हूँ, क्योंकि किसी और के पास इससे बड़ा है। तो ये एक चीज उभर के आई उस प्रोग्राम के दौरान जब मैंने वो किया था AICT का प्रोग्राम। सो इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट दैट वी सी व्हाट इज आवर रिक्वायरमेंट रादर देन कंपेयरिंग इट विद समवन एल्स।
वेरी गुड रिफ्लेक्शन मैडम। और आपकी बात पे एक इशारा भी इस तरफ जाता है कि अस्थायी चीज जो हमारी बनी है उससे हम स्थायित्व लेने की कोशिश करेंगे, तकलीफ में रहेंगे, है ना। स्थायी कुछ और बना हुआ है, अस्थायी कुछ और है, तो ये तो चेंज होता रहेगा। फिजिकल फैसिलिटीज में हमेशा अपग्रेडेशन बनता रहता है ना। तो हम अगर अपनी रिक्वायरमेंट ठीक ठीक जान लेते हैं तो हम उसको समझ पाते हैं। बहुत बढ़िया मैडम, बहुत ही अच्छा रिफ्लेक्शन बना है आपका। और आप AICT की कार्यशाला अगर करे हैं तो मैडम अगर आप चाहें तो वीकली मीटिंग के माध्यम से भी आप बने रह सकते हैं। वीकली मीटिंग AICT के द्वारा शनिवार रविवार को होती है, और एक मॉर्निंग की कार्यशाला भी बनी रहती है जो कि डेली होती है। तो अगर आप उसमें आ पाएंगे तो ये बहुत सारी चीजों के प्रश्नों के उत्तर धीरे धीरे आपको मिलने लग जाएंगे।
Yes, sir.
जी जी।
There is one more reflection by Dr. Rajiv Gupta ji. He has said, whatever resources we have, self-satisfaction is the need of the hour.
ठीक ही बात है, सेल्फ सेटिस्फेक्शन की ही बात यहाँ पे भी उसी रूप में रखी जा रही है। हमारा हर कार्य करने के पीछे जो मकसद बना है वो तो सुखी होने का ही बना है। तो अगर हम सुखी कैसे हों और उसकी निरंतरता कैसे कर पाए, इस बात को ठीक ठीक देख लें और हम इस पूरी व्यवस्था को देख लें। इस पूरी व्यवस्था को जब हम देखने जाएंगे तो इस प्रकृति में हर चीज अपनी व्यवस्था में है, अपने नियम के साथ ही चल रही है। उसके लिए हमें कुछ नहीं करना पड़ता है, हमारे होने पे भी हमारा कोई हाथ नहीं है, इस पूरी प्रक्रिया में हमारा हाथ नहीं है। हमें नियम को अगर समझ लें तो हम नियम के अनुसार चल सकते हैं। तो एवरीथिंग इज अबाउट टू अंडरस्टैंड द harmony. So if we are able to understand the harmony within everything, we will also be in the harmony. It is very as simple as this.
Yes, sir.
राजीव सर आप बिल्कुल ठीक बात कर रहे हैं। जी जी।
If anyone has anything else to share, or else I would like to, on behalf of Pune College of Pharmacy, thank you, sir, very much for a very
thank you मैडम, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हेमंत सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद पूरी एंटायर टीम का। जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद
sir. This lecture was really a self-exploratory session, as you said in the initial part itself, and it has really, I hope, initiated a internal dialogue inside all the faculty members, because now since we all are teachers, we have to see how we can inculcate value-based education in our students, rather than just trying to complete the syllabus or trying only to build skills and training. The national education policy, which is now laying the foundation for holistic education, and we all should try to incorporate in our teaching process value-based teaching. So thank you very much once again, sir, on behalf of Pune College of Pharmacy. Thank you.
मैम, थैंक यू, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, सभी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Over to you, Jain sir.
थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू भैया, बहुत बहुत नमस्ते, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपको। एंड थैंक यू प्रीति मैडम, and
thank you sir.
Thank you everyone, all the participants who have participated